States, Todd Blanche addressed DOJ's rank and file. He delivered a 19-minute speech intended to signal his priorities within the department. Now, Blanche had been serving as acting AG since April, and today he said a lot of the right things, echoing the words of AGs who had come before him. Despite his unprecedented efforts to reshape DOJ to pursue Trump's political opponents, and despite Trump's anti-weaponization fund and the tax immunity deal that nearly derailed Blanche's nomination, the new AG only mentioned Donald Trump by name once. But in his prepared remarks, Blanche appeared to contradict the department's real pursuits under his leadership.
I promise you that I will lead this department with integrity. I promise you that I will focus on our core mission, which is to uphold the rule of law fairly and impartially, to keep this great country safe, and to protect the rights of every citizen in this country. And I think about integrity and that as a word, but it's really, in my mind, keeping a promise to each other, to yourself, and to everybody that you interact with. And for what we do, it's a promise that we're going to uphold the law without fear or favor.
Okay, I'm going to do the rundown here of recent DOJ prosecutions that have failed against political opponents of Donald Trump. Letitia James, indicted. That case was dismissed by a judge. They tried to re-indict her 2 more times. 2 grand juries rejected it. Jim Comey, indicted. Dismissed by a judge. They re-indicted him on a pathetic case, the Seashell case, that has no chance at all. Senator Mark Kelly and other Democratic lawmakers, they tried to indict in D.C. That was rejected. Jerome Powell and the Fed subpoenaed. That subpoena was blocked by a federal judge. DOJ has now dropped that case. We can go all the way through to last week and the failed reflecting pool indictment of David Hearn, which is now out the door. So now, and you see there's more here, we're going to go around the horn. And I want just, if we can, for starters, just a yes or no to this question. Has this Justice Department prosecuted people for political reasons? Give me a yes or no, then we'll dig in. Noah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, Missy?
100% yes.
100%.
Sure.
I think it's way more. I think it's way more nuanced. I really believe that. And look,
give us one with nuance.
You've known Todd a long time.
Yes.
You worked with Todd.
20 years.
I know Todd personally. I do believe he believes what he said in that speech. But I do. But I also understand that he has a very difficult job working for President Trump. It is not easy trying to balance running this huge agency with a level of real independence that all Americans have come to expect, while you also have a president who wears his emotions on his sleeves. I would never want that job.
Yeah, I want to hear, because Noah shocked me. I want to hear yes. You said yes, there have been political prosecutions in this administration.
Well, obviously. The prosecution of James Comey was political. The prosecution of Letitia James was criminal. Was political. The prosecution of this one individual with the reflecting pool case, he was one of 4 people who were indicted. All those cases were tossed, and now we're hearing that the president wants to give it another go. Give it another shot. Let's see if we can get this guy. Near as I can tell, those prosecutions were brought merely against civilians who weren't in the game, who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is a really chilling thing. I can't see any exculpatory narrative there. Maybe I'm just not missing the forest for the trees. I'm willing to give Todd Blanche the benefit of the doubt, but there's a trust deficit, and it really is the president's fault. It isn't his fault, but he's the inheritor of that.
Okay, listen, I need you to get inside the president's head here for a second. Sorry, I know it's been a long time.
It's a strange place to be.
When does he get tired of all the losing? He doesn't like to lose, right? But all these cases are dead losers.
That's what's interesting to me, is that he's even looking to revisit some of these that are clearly failing on their face. But something that's interesting to me, and I'd actually be curious your perspective, when I've talked to a number of Republican lawmakers, particularly in the Senate ahead of Todd Blanche's confirmation, there's this feeling of ease with Todd Blanche. They see him as a step up from Pam Bondi. They see him as a more serious person, somebody that they trust a little more in terms of more in the style of an AG Barr, who I have my criticisms of. So I was always confident he was going to get through. I wonder if at the DOJ, if even the rank and file, who may be uncomfortable with the tactics of this administration, do prefer him over a Bondi.
Mike, what do you think?
I mean, look, I agree with Noah, and I would add cases to this. I mean, I sat down with John Bolton and asked him, even if you did something wrong, had you not written that book, you
Yeah, I'm not sure about, I don't count Bolton in this list because that investigation actually existed during the Biden
During the Biden administration, they didn't bring charges in the verve with which Donald Trump went after this.
he loved it.
He loved it so much because he hated Bolton so much. I mean, these are clearly political. Now, as you pointed out, the letter of this, I read it, I watched it. Good speech, right?
Absolutely.
It's a good speech.
You said the right word on paper. You said the right
Well,
word.
you have that tension all of a sudden of AGs previous that have not pleased Donald Trump from just setting on up. And what happens if he does believe it? Is he going to last very long? I highly doubt it. He's going to have to be someone who's a very wily political operator to stay in that job if he does what he said.
Yeah, I mean, we also have a demoralizing problem at the DOJ because I don't think Pam Bondi left it with many people feeling that they wanted to work for a cause that is, of course, independent and separate than the president. I was very surprised by the speech and his words on paper that we have not seen actions to, so I will not give it credence or credit. However, his confirmation hearing and the way that he conducted himself was markedly different from the way that Pam Bondi conducted hers and has returned to the Senate. So I'm actually interested to see what he will be like when he's called before the House for the first time or the Senate now that he has gone.
It helps to go in front of the Senate not with a list of burns. Let me say to this point, and you all heard me say this before, I've known Todd for 20 years, the same exact upbringing at the Southern District of New York. The speech he gave very good. We both heard that speech and variations of that speech many, many times. But his record, he's now been in office as Deputy AG, Acting AG, and AG, basically the whole time, completely contradicts that list.
I just don't understand why he wanted it, to be honest. Like, when has being Donald Trump's Attorney General worked out well for anyone, honestly? Like, I would argue it is actually the hardest role over DHS Secretary because he is going to, at some point, ask you to do something that goes against your legal ethics, your personal integrity, and, like, your future and what you would like to be able to do. I see it as a no-win for him. I do think he's a more serious actor than Pam Bondi, but he is going to have to navigate very, very carefully to even stay in front of
Real quick, I want to throw one at you, Jerome. So one of the things Blanche said today is this: we will not engage in or stand for any form of attacks that undermine the institutions that we are sworn to uphold. Yet, 2 months ago, Todd Blanche said in a TV interview, there's a, quote, ton of evidence the 2020 election was rigged. That's a complete contradiction.
Well, look, I mean, I don't believe that, but
You don't believe that?
that's the election was rigged. That's the original there. I think he has to understand, and I think he does understand, the weight of being the Attorney General, not acting, not Deputy Attorney General. There is a moral problem that both of you all have recognized. A lot of individuals have left and gone to the private sector. The American people need a DOJ that works, that does go after hardened criminals. And I hope to God, and I expect that Todd is going to do his darn best to increase that morale, because I think there are a lot of people there who want to see the agency work as intended. Amen. And sometimes that means you may have to disagree with the president, and the best advice I would give to the president is to permit that level of disagreement. It will only benefit you politically in
You
the long
should
run.
have disagreement. If you fall step and step, who in your entire life do you agree with 100% of the time? So you obviously should have some areas of disagreement.
You're speaking my heart. All right, folks. Next up, Trump's handpicked board voted to put his name on the Kennedy Center. Yes, again, as we learn what's really been on the president's mind this year.
Top of the World premieres September 7th on CNN.